Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second devlog for the game that is tentatively titled Skills Go Up. I have been spending every waking minute working on or thinking about designing this game, and as a result, a lot more has happened in just the past day and a half. A ridiculous amount. Let's start things off with the boring stuff. The settings screen now works. We got some settings in here. Audio settings, even though we don't have audio. Control settings. Gamepad controls do work. I'm not quite happy with how they work right now because I want to have the analog stick be the movement setting and not the D-pad. Which you can do it, but I need to free up the D-pad and not have it on there. So it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. But one thing you might have seen in there, XP drops. So basically how that works is now it can do that. Now, normally it will filter out certain obnoxious XP drops, but if we turn it on full, which requires pressing enter, you can see everything, including the really annoying +1 athletics XP every time you walk. So we can go in here and switch it back to partial because I like partial. It doesn't hide everything that's 1 XP. I did override it to show this one. I do need to make it not overlap both the intelligence and literacy on there. It's something I was currently working on whenever I decided to record this episode. But yeah, so what else can we see? We can see we have butterflies here. I can catch them because I do have a butterfly net in my pocket. There should be a firefly around here somewhere. He'll light up occasionally. You can catch him as well. There's nothing to do with them right now. They just exist as an item. However, there are these isopods here. I just added these for fun, but then I was out hiking and driving in a car for like 3 hours today, and I had a random, silly, completely nonsensical thought on what to do with them. So I've already got some stuff pre-set up, so I don't have to do it. But we have this portable terrarium, which is made from a bucket of compost combined with 3 weeds. Simple crafting recipe. And the ISO slingshot, which is just an item that you can't make right now. I haven't decided. It might be like a boss drop or something. Who knows? That's a long ways away, theoretically. But yeah, it's not craftable. It has to just be gotten from my bank right now. But yes, so I can go in here. I can equip the portable terrarium. It goes in the ammo slot. I can equip the ISO slingshot. And now when I attack, well, also quests work. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, we did that. So yes, the ISO slingshot, it fires metallic isopods, and they walk back to you after they hit. They only do 1 damage, so it's not a high damage thing, but it's basically unlimited ammo, unless they manage to get somewhere where they can't get back to you. Now, I've been working on accuracy as a skill to where you can, like, predict where the enemies are going. I do have a targeting reticle on them now, too, which is fun, but it's not quite working for the accuracy yet, so we'll work on that later. Now, you might wonder, how do I get a metallic isopod? Well, whenever you have a terrarium with you, you can catch isopods, and then you can go over to your utility spells. You can see I've added a lot of utility spells, but the newest one I added, because this was a silly thing I just added today, right, like an hour ago. So we have the Metalize spell, which you can then go into your inventory, or I made it where spells can now work in equipment, which will be interesting because like you can enchant a ring that's on your finger, theoretically. But you can just do that, and it will just go through all the standard isopods that are in the terrarium because it can hold both, no limits. I made it generic too, so that we could in the future add like a quiver or a Pico shard bag or any other number of bags. There's really no limit. Oh, I did forget to mention, butterflies do respawn after you catch them, but it does take like a minute or two, so not the fastest thing. What else is new? I added a couple new enemy types. So we have this guy here. He'll walk up to you and then attack you. This is kind of like my attempt at a more RuneScape-style combat thing, so you could just sit here and beat him up. But yeah, that's me kind of testing how I want this, because I'm not sure I want these randomly wandering enemies. They were just the first thing I added to have something in the game. Down here we have the magic version of that, so he stops at a certain distance from you and fires. You can get up close if you want to melee him, or you can keep your distance, try to dodge his attacks. We can kill him real quick. They actually have item drops, which is nice. So yeah, I do really like this isopod slingshot thing. It's so nonsensical, but it's fun. This is an agility shortcut if you're from RuneScape. It's called dexterity in my game. This is the only shortcut we have right now. It doesn't really serve any purpose, but we do have we have solid blocks here and you can get through. So in theory, you could use it to get across. I could put it over water, for example, but there is swimming. This is flowing water, so it's kind of hard to fight. You can see my run energy is going down, though, and if you run out while swimming, you get sent back to where you started and take damage. So the idea is that most bodies of water at first will be difficult to cross, but then I'm going to add a swimming skill, and you'll be able to get good enough at swimming to actually swim across a lake eventually. But this stuff might be hard. There are supposed to be aquatic enemies. They aren't here, so I must have bugged them at some point. Unless, no, they're at the other one, aren't they? I added more water. Yes, there he is. So yes, this is an aquatic enemy. He cannot leave the water, which is interesting. And up here, we have an amphibious enemy. He can leave the water, but he can also follow you into the water. He just does not care. So let's get rid of him real quick. He is obnoxious. He was really on me. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's get back up to a safer area. One thing I do when I get annoyed at the enemies, though, is I can just go into combat, equip the firebolt, and we can just annihilate everyone real quick. Everyone near me, at least. All right, now that things have calmed down a bit, what else do I have to show? Because it's hard to remember what all I've added in the past day. Now, I only had 4 spells last time, so every spell past the 4 spells should be new. All right, Cure Plant. All right, so that's all the spells. Quests do work now. We've done First Fight. It gives 100 coins. We still need to do Explorer, which requires us to read a sign. This is a very interesting one because it actually has a reward that I programmed in but had not tested until just like 30 minutes ago, which is tool belt slots. So, yeah, you might have noticed all this extra space for the tool belt. It's because the tool belt can actually hold multiple items, and it just works. Tools work from anything. Like, I actually made it. If we go in here, we can search now in here, which is really useful. We can grab our knife. We can grab our chisel. And I did improve the context menu in here a bit. I'm trying to think what else is there. Shears. We'll grab some shears. Oops. Controls are still a bit crazy in this game. What else do I want? You know, I'm going to grab some seeds while I'm in here. We will grab an apple seed, a blueberry seed, and a potato seed. And I'm going to grab some compost. There we go. And I'm going to grab, do we have buckets of water in here already? We do. I'm going to grab a bucket of water. Just trying to think of everything I might need. I still got an isopod walking back to me. They will drop as an item if they get stuck for 5 seconds. So if you shoot them over a solid object they can't walk over, which is something I'm working on, then that is what would happen there. Anyway, so yeah, we can equip the chisel, and it goes into your main hand, because that's just how it works. But, or did it go into the main hand? Where'd the ISO slingshot go? Oh no, it went into the tool belt. Okay, I guess it defaults to there. Point is, what I'm trying to show off is we can actually have tools and things that go into different slots. So eventually I'm going to add combat stats to a lot of these tools so that you can have them in there. But we can go ahead. I'm going to go all the way up here, add my tinderbox. So yeah, you can see we have 2 items in our tool belt right now, and then another tool in our hands. So you can actually have a lot of tools with you now. And it works kind of similar with the ring slots. I thought about making the ring slots work the same way, but considering I'm only ever going to allow 2 rings, because I feel like rings would have to be really weak to ever allow someone to have 10 of them or more. Because technically you can wear multiple rings per finger. There's nothing stopping you. So we're going to say it's 1 per hand. But I did make it where if we have 5 of every item in here, so I can actually just withdraw 2 rings. We can put the ring on. So you can choose which slot to put the ring into, but it will also just default to slot 2 if slot 1 is full and slot 2 is empty. Otherwise it defaults to 1 no matter what. But the context menu is always there. And that is what you would use for a lot of those things. So yeah, that is that. What else do we got? Right, I haven't done all the spells. What spell is this? Right, conjuring. So you can conjure a mage that will fight for you for a while. You can conjure a woodcutter who will chop down wood for a little while, and the wood just automatically goes into your inventory, and you get conjuring XP instead of woodcutting XP. Obviously, this is just a placeholder concept. This is basically what we wish summoning was in RuneScape. At least I do. Anyway, so that was 4. No, okay. 4 is telegrab. Telegrab can grab items that are directly in front of you, like that. The idea is it can grab over things. So, like, I could grab something across the river here. I could grab something across this, hopefully, if there was anything there, which there is not. But yeah, you can just grab it. It grabs the closest one in a line in front of you for a certain distance, which is pretty nice. What's 5? Right, 5 is repel. It's a psionic move. It just pushes enemies away from you. That is all it does. Pretty simple, pretty cool. And then 6 is a cure plant thing, because we have farming now. So I grabbed some seeds earlier. We can plant some seeds. That seed instantly became diseased, so we need to cure it. It's because you need to compost and water if you want everything to go well. So watering will reduce disease chance significantly. Removing weeds helps too, but we don't have our rake on us, so we need to grab our rake real quick, which we have done. So now we can go in here, we can rake weeds. It doesn't take long to rake weeds, although it doesn't help when that guy stands on you. But yeah, we can remove all these weeds from our plants so they get diseased less. And then I will... oh, right, I think I only had 1 bucket of water. Is this my well? Yes, so we can fill the bucket on the well, and then water. That's why I only grabbed 1, so I could remember. We can harvest it now, get more farming XP. We don't have any seeds on us. Something else we can do is put compost on there. I'd like to access my bank. We should have some compost. I thought I grabbed it already, but... Oh, did I craft it? I don't know. I don't know what happened to my compost. Maybe... Oh, no, I think I just have to context menu it. There we go. All right. So, yeah, compost gives a chance for each farming tick, because it works on a tick system. Like every, I don't know, is it 5 seconds? It goes up 1 tick. But it gives a 50% chance for it to go up 2 ticks. And when it's diseased, it won't die, but it will have a 75% chance of the tick not counting. It's just a way for farming to progress without it having to constantly check every second. Also, for things to grow when you're not in the room with them loaded. I do some fancy math to let it do that while also adjusting how fast things go. But yeah, and... For these 2 ones, bushes and trees, I let it where they can regrow. So this one's going to grow more blueberries, and then we can harvest more blueberries pretty soon. We can see we're 75% done. It doesn't take long to regrow. It can't become diseased whenever it's regrowing, but you can compost it if you really want to. Now, this is a compost bin. You just add 10 of anything compostable, which right now is weeds, and any raw or cooked food. And you just toss those in there. It'll make 5 compost for you, which you can fill into buckets, put back in here. All numbers are kind of, temporary right now, but that's just how it is for now. Let me see, what else? Any skills that I haven't discussed? I discussed accuracy. Let's see. Blood chain cooking, alchemy, farming, stealth. Oh, right, I did add stealth. Thieving, I did add thieving. I forgot about that. I added fishing. We haven't tried that out yet. Smithing, we do have smithing. Hunter, the only hunter is catching the bugs right now. Where's my smithing thing? I put it over here, yes. So yeah, we have a smithing system now, so I can actually make all this nonsense. As you can see, I'm dealing with item name length limits right now. I might have to change the resolution of the game. Sneaking, you just hold control. In theory, the special enemies I had added that fight more RuneScape style will have a detection radius and will not detect you based on your stealth level. In reality, it's probably such a small difference that training it's going to be difficult, and I'll have to work on that. But it is what it is. Fishing, you can just fish if you're standing next to water and have a fishing rod, so I should probably get my fishing rod. That would help. Yeah, We can go down here. Now we can fish. And it's just the same as any other gathering skill. Right now you can just gather minnows. I haven't added any other fishes. This is a new farming training method that I thought of, which is just trimming hedges. So you just trim them for a while and get some XP, and they turn into a square hedge. The graphics, of course, are temporary. I'd want it to look real nice in the end, and they will turn back to normal after a couple minutes, I think. So that is pretty neat. Is that everything that I have added, though? I'm trying to think. We got quests. We got the extra tool belt, the ISO slingshot. Oh, thieving. I didn't show thieving yet. Thieving is kind of obnoxious. You have to thieve this guy. He will catch you like 99% of the time. It's pretty silly. It's on brand for pickpocketing, though. But it does exist. You can train it if you hate yourself, I guess. Oh, man, thieving. It's quite a skill, isn't it? Oh, but the apple's done. That's pretty good. We can let it grow again. We can weed it real quick. The weeds can keep growing even whenever they grow when it's empty. They grow when it's grown. They just always grow. But since it can't become diseased, they're actually just a way to get free XP after that point. And also more weeds to make more compost, which, as you can see, yeah, I know there. We can apply compost to it even when it's growing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I added. I feel like that's most of it. It's a lot, and the game is coming a lot away. I've also just been tweaking a lot of little things here and there, making little things work better. Oh, right, we have the stats screen here for stats on that stuff, so that's pretty good. And skills do show when you have a stat boost in them, so like... let's see, I don't think this existed in the previous one. The game was really rudimentary the first time around. But like if I equip that, then you can see that we now have level 3 effective level in woodcutting because it gets +2 from equipping the hatchet. So that'll be a fun thing because I'll be able to have like, maybe the tier 1 hatchets has +0, but then the high tier ones could give +5 levels and you'd be going crazy on woodcutting. It'd unlock trees that you couldn't normally access with a lower tier hatchet, which I think makes sense. I think it makes sense that maybe you aren't good enough to chop a grand oak down with a bronze hatchet, but if you have a steel one, maybe you're just barely good enough. Makes sense to me, at least. I don't know about you. But yeah, I think that is pretty much everything that has been added since the last episode. I don't know if you saw anything else in the video that I added. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do like the isopods hide whenever you get close, and then they wait a while, and then they uncurl and start walking again. I just thought that was a fun little flavor to add to them. Yeah, we're getting so many features in. Like I've still got more skills to add. We're gonna have to work on the stat screen being able to hold this many skills, because as you can see, it's kind of going off the bottom already, and I have plenty more to add. So we're probably gonna have to split skills up into categories and have a tab there. Have like combat skills or magic skills or something. We're going to have to do something because I want there to be a lot of silly skills, a lot of nonsense, a lot of things to do, strategies to make, ways to do different things. But yeah, I'm not sure what to expect from the next episode, but I don't expect it to take very long to get to it. Maybe we'll do more combat spells. Maybe we'll do something else, add more skills, flesh out some other skills. Like I really fleshed out farming. I didn't show you guys, and I guess I should. But look, I added this many seeds. I added so many seeds. Basically, I have a list of produce items that are available in Pycomundi, another game that I am theoretically working on. But it's been a long time. But I took most of those because, in theory, this game has a connection to that world in some vague way. And I got most of those added to this. All of them are categorized as different size plots so that, you know, you're not putting a tree in a tiny plot or anything. And I should show a feature I have. We're going to have to chop this down real quick. Chop down. So let's weed it real quick. But you can actually plant smaller plot seeds in larger plots. You just require more of them and you get more rewards. So like it takes 4 potato seeds to plant into this plot. It would be 6 for the bigger one. And then you could do 2 medium ones in the bigger one as well. So it's just a way, if you really want potatoes and don't have any medium plot items, just plant a lot of potatoes and grow those. It's crazy. It works. It just works. All right. But yeah, I think that is everything that I need to show for now. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for yet another episode. I think it will slow down eventually, probably after that one, because we're going to get to the point eventually where I have to start actually doing graphics, sound, world building, and that's just not going to progress in a meaningful way as fast as just adding feature after feature after feature. New skill, but it's like one thing and all that. I'm going to have to add all the types of ore. I'm going to have to think about all the types of weapons, all the tiers of wood going into different things, and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a lot of more heavy thought put into it in the future. Right now, I'm just kind of swinging ideas around left and right and seeing what sticks. And I'm pretty happy with a lot of them, for sure. But it doesn't last forever. Eventually, you do have to calm down. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode, where hopefully we will have some more fun, interesting things to show off, some big progress, maybe some fun things like the ISO slingshot. Who knows what I'm going to do? It's like 24 hours from now, hopefully. See you then. Bye.